So I decided to become a sacrifice. I offered myself to the darkness and prayed to become chaos, hoping some band of heroes would defeat me, and thus bring an end to this empty dream.
Bullshit.
Somebody once told me.
Let's go. And the chick again.
Hello once again, my chickadees. Game & Chick is back once again with another review. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to Square Enix for providing me with a review copy of the game to make this review possible. Thank you very much. So now with that having been said, time to start the journey. Starnge of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is an action RPG that is developed by Team Ninja and published by Square Enix. With all the spin-offs the Final Fantasy brand has to offer, Team Ninja decided to bring us not only the weirdest one yet, but one that has vast meme potential. But does this game go beyond just meme status and actually end up a great time? Or should it die alongside chaos? Only one way to find out, so let's go! Story. The task of bringing balance to this strange but familiar world rests on the shoulders of a man named Jack and his allies. Although his memories are fleeting, he knows his mission: defeat chaos at any cost. As he battles the darkness consuming the world, he begins to uncover the mystery of his past and finds his true purpose. Gameplay. Oh boy, where do I even start with this game? When this title was first revealed to the world, the collective opinion of everyone that is able to complete a human thought was, what the hell did I witness? It was weird, the humor was dry, the characters looked generic, and not anything like the people in the universes all across Final Fantasy's various worlds. It was a confusing time. Flash forward next to the playable demo, and we still weren't sure just what the heck this game was. If anything, it just made it seem more like a parody or mocking of the RPG genre, to be quite honest. But because of the way the characters like Jack acted about chaos and his attitude of not giving a crap about anything but killing chaos, it became an instant meme and gave the game an almost cult-like status. That's all good and all right, meme status is great, but it really doesn't matter if the game flops at the end of the day. Well, buckle up, because if you were expecting a cheap cash-in game with no substance, then you are in for a rude awakening. FFO is definitely one of those cases of more than meets the eye, both in a good and a bad way. Don't worry, I'll explain. As you start your journey, you're greeted to an opening cutscene with a knight that's completely slaughtering soldiers left and right in brutal fashion, even turning them into red crystals. And it leaves you wondering, could this be chaos? Is this the dude that Jack is so angry and grouchy about? Because after he's done slaughtering all these puny castle guards, he walks off by himself carrying a princess. It's a bit humorous though, because some of the soldiers stand around literally being like, oh hell no, I'm not going near that guy, let him pass. Because they had just got done watching Rogue One and saw how things ended with Darth Vader. Very smart. Shortly after the scene is carried out, you're placed into a bout against the monster known as Tiamat, as Jack, Jed, and Ash attempt to take it down. Yes, this is your intro to start you off. Just throw your butt in a fight and tell you to have fun, kid! Right from the start, this game lets you know that it's going to be hard-hitting and fast-paced, as you learn about your basic forms of attacking, with R1 being your normal light attacks and R2 with your special heavy attacks, with other methods of attacking coming very shortly. The opening fight here with Tiamat, while intense yes, is very short-lived, with Jack and crew making short work of him and Jack slicing and pulling off Tiamat's heads. What the hell, Jack? Didn't you watch Hercules? You can't just cut the heads off. Oh, wait, that actually worked? Never mind then. I'll shut up. After this confrontation, you're transported into a vast wheat field that will now act as your opening tutorial. Upon gaining back control of Jack, the tutorial starts, and this is where you will learn all of the basic and advanced moves that will carry you through the rest of the game. As we already stated, you have R1 for light attacks, R2 for stronger attacks, but in addition to these, you'll add other skills to your arsenal called Break Gauge, Action Abilities, Soul Burst, Soul Shield, Absorb, and special ability known as Lightbringer. all of these are crucial to the way you play going forward. For example, when beating your enemy with R1 attacks, you will continue to build upon damage of an enemy's break gauge. This will lower your enemy's defense and give you an opening to slam away at a monster to your heart's content. Think of it like Stagger from Final Fantasy VII Remake. However, what gives you the advantage as well as with break gauge is the fact that when an enemy is near death, you're able to utilize Soul Burst using Circle on PlayStation to instant melee kill a bad guy, giving you back MP in the process. But this isn't the only use of Soul Burst. When enemies with purple auras attack you, you can use your Soul Burst in Soul Shield mode to block their attack and temporarily steal their ability like a blue mage. For example, versus a bomb, should they use fire on you, grab the ball with Soul Shield and pocket it. "Your attack is mine!" you'll say as you harness your inner Shang Tsung. This is really damn satisfying to do, especially when done versus multiple enemies at the same time. However, should you miss with Soul Shield when blocking melee attacks, it leaves you vulnerable and your break gauge will be in jeopardy, so don't suck, you dum-dum. Finally, your last-ditch effort attack, known as Lightbringer, is usable when your MP gauge is at 2. Activate it with L2 and Circle to make it easier to Soul Burst enemies. Be warned though that you cannot activate this with anything but 2 MP bars or higher, and can run out of MP fast should you use it too much or R2 too much, which also drains your MP on top of it. But we'll get back into that in just a second. Let's hop back into the story and see what good old Oscar the Grouch, Jack is up to. Jumping back into the story, we're greeted to the first meeting between Jack, Jed, and Ash, which is completely random. They walk up to Jack and are basically like,
"Yo, bro, we have dark crystals too."
And they all just stand there and stare at each other. I know they're crystals of light, but to me, the way they are now, they just look like dino crystals from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Upon meeting, you're told via black screen and text of their grand adventures they went on together, fighting bad guys around the world, heroic feats. But do we get to see any of it? Heck no, we get totally trolled. From here, we are treated to the crew on a ship heading towards Cornelia, in order to talk to the king. But the entire time you're on the boat, Jack is bored out of his damn mind. He's like the kid whining in the backseat going, "Are we there yet?" But replace that with him not shutting up about chaos. He's as bad as Jan Brady whining about Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
When are we gonna fight chaos? Well, this monster hunting is a pain in the ass.
Once you arrive in Cornelia, which looks amazing, you meet the king who tells you of the prophecy of the Warriors of Light. 4 will save the land, and while he's giving you this heartfelt speech, Jack is like, "Who cares? I have to kill chaos!" Literally, he isn't having any of his crap. Keep your history lesson, king, because I'm making chaos history. I know, that was lame, I'm sorry. The king asks, "Why are you so quick to go to your death?" And Jack still doesn't answer. He just wants to kill chaos for no apparent reason. Our boy thirsty as heck for some chaos. Oh my. After learning from the king that chaos may be in the Chaos Shrine, you make your way to your destination, but not before getting stopped by Princess Sarah, who has a favor to ask Jack. As she's talking about wanting you to go look for Garland, who has gone missing 10 years ago, she informs you he may still be in the shrine. Jack starts getting annoyed at this point. He just wants her to shut up so he can leave. Her mere presence and breathing in the same air he's breathing is ruining his day and throwing off his groove.
No! You threw off my groove!
After she's done flapping her gums, it's truly time to embark on your journey. When heading off to the Chaos Shrine to finally get into the core gameplay, which the Chaos Shrine looks awesome by the way, it reminds me of Shadow Lord's castle in Final Fantasy XI. You'll notice in the mission select screen, it looks like a dungeon looter game, with each dungeon offering you specific reward drops based off of completion. And if you're wondering that, then yes, you're 100% correct. This is, at its heart, a Final Fantasy dungeon looter. Typical RPG levels are now gone, and now you level up via loot adjustments, gear drops, and using specific classes, jobs, and leveling them up just by using their abilities. Topped off with all the jobs in the game not only having advanced upgrades like Pugilist to Monk and Mage to White Mage, all of them individually having their own skill tree that allows you to unlock abilities like Onslaught physical attacks for Swordsman, Concentrate with Mage to increase MP recovery limit, Shield Bash with Sword Fighter to knock people back with a shield, etc. Every class you unlock from White Mage, Black Mage, Lancer, Dragoon, Pugilist, Monk, Duelist, Thief, all have their own abilities and skills to master on your journey. And just like in Final Fantasy XIV, a large variety of skills learned from any class can be used on another. One example here, I usually play with Swordsman and my sub-job as Mage. But using my combo skills that I can map to my input buttons with L2, I can use abilities like Shield Bash from Swordsman, and even Ruin from Mage in combination with my abilities learned from Swordsman. Mixing and matching makes the strategy in this game pretty insane. But we're not done talking about all the gameplay just yet. Heck no, this is just the beginning. but we'll go in depth in just a second, because I have a lot to say on this due to this game being so damn beefy with not only its item and gear system, but the way combat intertwines with both modern action game standards, but also keeps everything at the heart of Final Fantasy in general. I know, sounds strange, but it will make sense in a minute, trust me.
I don't have time to listen to your nonsense.
Okay, I can see Jack's getting annoyed at me. I'll keep moving along. Making your way through the Chaos Shrine and learning how to use ladders to create alternate paths to get back to later areas in case you die, you will also learn about glowing cubes that allow you to save your game, change your gear and abilities under battle settings, and purchase skills under job trees, give full health, collecting spheres for data and info about the world's lore, how to use anima shards for extra EXP to level each job quickly, and after all that, and fighting your way through the castle, you eventually make it to the top of the tower, where you finally meet Chaos! Wait, that's not
Chaos.
We're here to fight Chaos, not you! Dang it, he's not Chaos, so he doesn't matter. After an intense battle, Jack slays him with a Saitama One-Punch Man-like hit, and you win. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey Jack, when did you teach Sarah that song?
It's a classic. Everyone knows it.
From this point forward in the story, you will meet the fourth warrior of light, Neon, whose every word is bullshit according to Jack. Return to Cornelia to tell the king you accept his new mission to save the world, but he's still full of crap. See a classic Final Fantasy throwback view from a cliff down to the city, get a rock thrown at you by a crappy little kid, which made me want to throw him into a river like Frankenstein's monster did. I hope you can swim, chump. Afterwards, proceed on your journey through dark castles, scale mountainside cliffs as you venture to find caves to explore, fight a pirate named Bikke, take a ship to meet a dark elf named Astos, who may have made a deadly deal with Chaos, traverse Dark Souls Andor-looking towers, which look fantastic, and oh my god, what the heck is that? What is shooting at me? I mean, fighting the Black Knight himself known as Odin, make your way through the robust forest of Refn wetlands, where you can change the land via rain or sun by interacting with nature spheres, climb a mysterious crystal tower, and even high-five Vin Diesel if you make it to a sky-high fortress in space. Then meet a woman named Sophia, who tells you her goal is to kill Chaos no matter what. Uh-oh, she now just became waifu material for Jack. There's so many amazing areas in the game that it's hard for me to not spoil them all, including the story itself. But don't worry, I'll have restraint. Just like a cute evil Tonberry, I'm going to take a stab at it. Oh man, I'm sorry, that was really bad. My bad, guys. Shifting back now to the combat. While the story is pretty decent overall, with it being more of a mystery than anything else, and your questions that you want answered never really get answered until the final minutes of this game, even so, the real focus should remain on what makes this game truly fun at the end of the day: the combat. The combat makes this world go round, and man, is it both complex and deep, but at the same time, very easy to adjust to. As stated earlier, you have multiple jobs to play as, level up, learn new skills, but it goes beyond this. Even though Jack, Jed, and Ash, and later on Neon start off as swordsmen, pugilist, duelist, and red mage, they aren't forever bound by them, and by going to your battle settings, you're able to create what is known as battle sets. With battle sets, you're able to create 2 specific jobs to equip: your main job and your sub-job, with each having their own equipable gear. Each piece of gear for all classes having multiple item slots, meaning that if you equipped a chest piece that has a connecting leg piece, you lose 1 extra equipment slot, but on the plus side, you might get better stats. Downside, it makes you look like you have on a onesie at times. But at least it's not Sublagard that has your booty hanging out like in Final Fantasy 11 and 14, so that's a win there. In regards to these battle sets I just mentioned, equipping 2 at the same time allows you to switch between them whenever you wish by pressing triangle. The switch is fast and immediate. This is also extremely useful when wielding a mage class with a swordsman class, or any dual melee classes together in general. Why? Well, it allows you to attack as one class and then immediately switch to another to continue an ultimate combination attack. It's slick as hell. My go-to for the playthrough was always the mage and swordsman combination. This way, as a mage, I can hold down R2 to open my magic wheel to attack with fire, arrow, quake, and water, and when held down, it allows me to use strong attacks like Fire-Aga, Water-Ga, Koei-Ga, and Arrow-Ga. I'm more of a stick and move type of player, so I'd stay back, charge my magic from afar, lock on, and then use my spells accordingly against a monster based off of the element of that enemy, such as using Quake on water-based enemies, or using water on fire blocking my path, or on a firebomb monster itself. Speaking of firebombs, using your soul shield like I told you earlier, you're able to absorb their fire blast and shoot it right back to them. Normally that wouldn't have any effect, but they're really, really stupid and they absorb all the fire energy back into themselves, leading them to swell and eventually pop and explode like the dude in Naked Gun when he gets a hose in his mouth. You stupid firebomb. Talk about an explosive development. Okay, I'm sorry, that was the last one, I swear. Mages are really too overpowered in this title though. On top of being able to cast magic at like 10 feet away from enemies and a massive AoE range, you're also able to switch jobs mid-fight. For example, getting yourself into trouble with 2 jobs that just aren't working out, or you keep dying, then that's your cue to get distance from your enemy, go to battle settings, switch to White Mage, then cast Regeneration, Protect, and Shell on your party for extra health and buffs, then switch back to the previous classes. The game allows for so much creative freedom and combinations, and it never gets dull. Fights become nerve-wracking, intense, and chaotic. It's a blast. Extra stuff. As you play through the game, besides the main story, there's actually other things that you may do as well. With each mission you progress to, you will unlock side missions related to that stage or area, and when completed, you will get better gear and more experience points. It can make your 15 to 20 hour journey push up to 25 to 30 hours easily. If you're underleveled and having a hard time, I implore you to do these after every main mission is completed. You won't regret it at all. New gear will determine if a mission takes 40 minutes or 2 hours. I'm not joking. Overall, at the end of the day, Starnge of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is a very weird game, but an addicting one. Sure, it's not perfect, with negatives like talking to NPCs via the world map, feeling pretty useless with nothing of substance ever being said. It's just as bad as the NPCs from Castlevania 2.
Hey, Jack. Isn't this wind something else? It's gotten so strong lately, I'm afraid I might just blow away, armor.
Small frame rate drops are also an issue that pops up from time to time, along with texture glitches, and then the story feeling a bit disjointed at times. However, with an angry Grouch Jack offering non-intentional humor by being as obsessed with chaos as Waka is with the Al-Bhed,
Don't go near Al-Bhed anymore, okay? They're trouble. Those Al-Bhed.
amazing areas to explore, engaging and gripping combat, deep and strategic job system that allows for dozens of attack combinations, beautiful music, superb and intense boss battles against the likes of Pirate Bikke, enormous Malboro, Tiamat, Odin, giant chimeras, etc. make this title a must-play. No sarcasm, this has to be experienced. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says bye now.
Bullshit.
What? Shut up, Jack. Like I was saying, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says bye now. Hey everyone! Thanks for watching! I really hope you enjoyed that review, and I look forward to bringing more to you in the coming future. For new people, feel free to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like or share, and for people already subscribed, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any future content upload. Also, feel free to click on my other reviews linked above, because they're kinda cool too. So, give them a look! Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all you chickadees on the next one.